Hey guys, welcome to the Q&A, 9,000 subscribers, and just the monthly Q&A, right? So it's October, and I haven't done a Q&A yet, so here it is. But also, it was a coincidence that the Q&A happened when I hit 9,000 subscribers. I think I have like 9,010 now, which is awesome. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I just had some feedback on my end of my video. So definitely write in your questions as we get along. Anyway, sorry, I was distracted from my own video. But yeah, thank you guys for subscribing. This has been a blast, as you guys know. I've been doing the YouTube there, and it's cool to connect to you guys with the Q&As and all that. I've been loving them every month. Last month, we did the Mother Versus version, which was, or theme. That was with my brother. I had a blast with that too. And now it's going to be just comics, TV stuff. I would love to hear your thoughts on Mother Versus. That'd be awesome. You know, like Father, like Daughter. We're gearing up for issue 4. I saw some pages of it. It looks awesome. Just posted the cover for that on Twitter and Facebook. Still getting over a cold. It wasn't as bad. If you watch Frontline Live, I was coughing up a storm. It's not as bad, but still there. Definitely not as bad. But that was Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. Got a cold from there. Was exhausted, but I had so much fun at New York Comic-Con. So yeah, I'm waiting for people to come in. Sorry I started a little late. I mean, early. Sorry, I started early today. The reason I gave that buffer because I had Supergirl on. I watched it on time as I always do. I did my review and then it finished around 9:30. But I like giving myself an hour just in case, like, you never know. Things happen, so I wanted to give myself the hour, but I got done early, so I was like, right after I posted my review, didn't want to wait, wanted to start the Q&A. So yes, it's a little earlier than I said on Twitter, but it's here. But yeah, we're starting to get some questions and all that fun jazz. So let's see. We got Kenneth Crowley Jr. who says, why has the DC Rebirth Supergirl comic series for you struggled? For me, I've liked it, but it needs more work. I really enjoy it, though. Yeah, I'm like debating. I don't want to drop it because it's Supergirl, even though I have dropped the New 52 Supergirl in the past. If you guys don't know, I love Supergirl as a character. I have for a very long time, since I was a kid. So I don't want to drop the series, but it's just kind of continuing the same stuff that the New 52 had, which I didn't really enjoy. I think this was an opportunity to really go back to the pre-New 52 roots. And I feel like the biggest struggle is that it doesn't have an identity. It's trying to be too many things. It's trying to be original with this whole science school stuff. It's trying to be the TV show with the Cat Grant stuff. It's trying to be the New 52 with Cyborg Superman. I don't even know how it's trying to be pre-New 52. I can't even tell you. I don't think it is trying to be that. So yeah, I think it's being too many things at once, and that's the biggest struggle. It needs to find its own identity and honestly stay away from the New 52 material because I feel like Supergirl was a character that struggled. So I'm surprised that they're still like continuing that story. I felt like this was an opportunity to kind of stray away from that. But we'll see where that goes. All right. So I think Kenneth asked that question twice. Here's the second one from Kenneth. What Superman stories from the pre-New 52 era do you recommend? Have you read so much about I have read so much about Superman Earth 1 and Superman Birthright. I have actually never been a huge Superman fan, so I don't know if I'm the person to recommend Superman stories for you. But yeah, Superman Earth 1 I really enjoyed. All-Star Superman, I mean, that's a big one. I would recommend. So I'm enjoying the DC Rebirth stuff for the most part. But again, I've always been a fan of like the Superman family more than Superman himself. Even though I read like a lot of Silver Age Superman because of my dad. So Kenneth says, how do you store your comics? Been thinking about getting some storage boxes. on like Amazon, you can get the long boxes. That's what I do. Like every January, I pile up my comics for about a year. I have a spot to pile them up. I back and board them and all that. Then around January, I'll be like, all right, let's pull out those boxes again. Then I, do it through alphabetical order. Here's a lot of boxes. That's why I wait yearly to do it, or else it'd be like too much to go into every box and lift every box and put it in. But that's what I do. I have a long box and back and board them. Usually do it yearly, always yearly. Try to do it in January. Because, yeah, you got to look forward to something after Christmas, right? First, Ashanti B says, congrats, thank you. Kenneth says, my last question, if you were to write Supergirl and or Superman, how would you write them? I mean, I love the show. I kind of would love to write it close to that because I feel the show does a really good job at doing different iterations of Supergirl. Even tonight's episode, they kind of reference Silver Age Supergirl in some ways where, well, again, this is not spoiling anything, but where Clark leaves Supergirl on the doorstep. I mean, in the show is to the Danvers house, but in the comics it was to a foster family, and Alex says he abandoned you. That was a mistake. And it's kind of cool that they make that, I guess, reference in the show to a Silver Age story. So yeah, if I made a run, I would love to make it close to the Supergirl TV show because I think they've got a lot of things right. But I also like teenage Supergirl, so see, I would have to think about it a bit. Kenneth, congrats on 9,000 subscribers. And then DNGN says, sorry, my throat is crazy today. On. So next is DNGN says, favorite bromance in comics. Same question for girls. So favorite bromance, probably Batman and Superman. They have like the classic bromance. Tim and Connor. Those are from the top of my head I could think of. Favorite girl-mance, I guess. Stephanie and Cassandra Cain. That's my top. I think Stephanie and Cassandra Cain's my top. I'm gonna go with that. Wally West says, congrats. Kenneth says, if Sterling Gates was writing DC Rebirth Supergirl, it'd be a better book. I agree with that. I love his run on Supergirl and his writing in general. DNGN, what is the most frustrating part about self-publishing comics? The wait, I guess. You definitely can't release it monthly like DC or Marvel or any of these indie companies. It's also like, because you're self-publishing, you really are, doing everything yourself. They gotta have Short Fuse Media helping me out a lot on that side of stuff. But you have to be your own PR person. You have to be your own, obviously, writer, editor. You have a lot of hats you're wearing as you self-publish. So those are some of the hardships. All right, moving on to Dragon Ball's Deep. Thoughts on Godspeed as a villain? I dropped Flash because I don't like him. I just didn't like the story that much. I don't like the art. But yeah, Godspeed is just so generic, and he's too much like the TV show. Like I was just saying about the Supergirl comic, I would like it to be more like the TV show, but here it was like stealing storylines from the TV show. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see something I've already seen on TV. So I dropped Flash. I guess that shows my likeness for Godspeed. Wally West, what would you recommend for aspiring comic book writers? I asked this because I'm writing a superhero adventure comic for my school newspaper. That's awesome. Keep writing. I mean, that's always the advice that I give. The advice people give to me is just keep writing. Don't give up on it. And put yourself out there. I think if you really want to publish yourself, like make a social media presence, especially with the day and age of Kickstarter and all that. You have to have a fan base to really launch these things. So I would say do that. That's one of the biggest things. Joel says, Saravia says, what is your overall thought on Arrow season 4? I didn't hate it as much as other people. I mean, I didn't like how Laurel was treated. There was definitely some story arcs I didn't enjoy, like the whole Felicity Oliver thing that happened after the crossover I didn't like. But, yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Someone Facebooked me and I got a message. Season 4. I liked Thea. I thought she was awesome. She's always awesome. I liked that we actually got to see her as Speedy. I enjoyed that Diggle had his own identity as Spartan. And I didn't hate Damien Dark as a villain. I liked him. So as a Thea fan, I really liked season 4. But there is definitely some plot problems with Arrow. But season 3, I think, had more plot problems. So I think it improved from season 3. Mount Tyler Jordan, did you hear Greg Weisman's working on a new DC comic? Yes, it's a miniseries of Captain Atom, which I don't know anything about that character, but I'll definitely pick it up because of Greg Weisman. DNGN, do you think Carrie Kelly should be involved with the Bat Family in the main continuity? They tried. They tried with the Batman and Robin book a while back. They added her in and then didn't really do much. I don't know why they didn't do much with that. I personally think, it's funny because I was talking about this with Jay, because Anna Kendrick, whatever they're trying to do with her being Robin, either she is Robin, they're trying to promote it, or she wants to be Robin. I think she is Robin, they're trying to promote it, and then make people happy in the end, because they worked hard on the promotion. But I was talking to Jay, and he says, yeah, Carrie Kelly's a bore. And I kind of agree with that. I think with the other Robins, they have more of this backstory. They have more of a personality. I think Carrie Kelly really needs to be developed as a character if they want to use her for the main continuity. Kenneth Crilly, have you seen the new Star Wars Rogue One trailer? And what are your thoughts on it? Does it get you more excited? I actually haven't watched it. It was more on purpose because I just want to see the movie. I don't really need to see any more trailers. So for me, I have not seen it, and I don't think I plan on seeing it until the movie comes out. Timothy Joshua says, congrats on 9,000. What superhero would you like to see with their own TV show? Mayday, of course. And I would like to write it. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you ever read Wanted or seen the movie? Neither. Harley Quinn. Hey, what do you think of the new Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, like original or Suicide Squad? I don't read that title. So, and do you mean the original, like the original Suicide Squad, or the one from the New 52? Kenneth, have you ever gotten the Dark Knight, or I'm sorry, the DK Publishing guidebooks for DC Comics and Marvel? Have a few of them, and they're amazing. Getting the encyclopedias for DC Comics and Marvel soon. Yeah, I have a couple of them roaming around in my house. Exile State Comics. Oh, and I see, for some reason on my side, the video buffered. I'm hoping it's not buffering on your side. All right, going back. Exile State Comics, congrats on 9,000. What Marvel team up would you like to see that we haven't seen before or in a long time? In a long time, I just want to see the Runaways, and the original Young Avengers would be nice. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you ever read Jeff Johns and David Goyer's Just Society of America comic? Yes, I have. Is that honestly the only Just Society of America comic I've read, but I've really enjoyed it. Joel Saravia says, I totally agree. It wasn't as bad as season 3. So that was about Arrow. Mount Tyler Jordan, favorite Batman and Robin run? Actually, I haven't read many of them. I have and I haven't. Like, I've picked them up and always dropped them. You have there's not a lot. There's the one before the New 52, and then the one during the New 52. Is there more? I don't think there's another Batman and Robin book. Yeah, I mean, I dropped them, so I guess that's that tells you something. Yeah, I never actually picked up, I think, a whole run of Batman and Robin. Mostly because it's always Damian as Robin, so I'm not the biggest Damian fan. Not that I don't like him, I just don't really want to read him monthly. Although I will with the new Teen Titans book, so we'll see how that goes. Nate Boathigh says, thanks for all the weekly reviews. Want to bet Black Mask rigged Red Hood this week. Yeah, that's for Red Hood and the Outlaws. And thank you for watching the reviews. Harley Quinn, have you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con? Also, who would win, Captain America or Green Lantern? Probably Green Lantern, I would say, would win. And I've been to San Diego Comic-Con. I've covered it for press twice. And then before that, I've been there 2 other times. I've been there 4 times. I do have some coverage of San Diego Comic-Con on this channel if you want to check that out. Timothy Joshua, which comic best reflects New York City in your opinion? You can also apply this to TV and movies. You know what's interesting? I feel that's a hard question because New York is different. You know, it's always changing. And there's always different ways to see New York, especially in media. It's the gritty New York or the sunshiny New York. I think Spider-Gwen does a really good job at showing New York. I love when she's commuting. I think that's the best. Spider-Man also is very good in tale of what New York is. I think Gotham does a really good job at, like, you know, when crime was up in New York. I think that was, because it is pretty much New York City, Gotham in some ways. So yeah, the spider titles, I guess. All right. Kenneth Crowley, when getting trade paperbacks and omnibuses, do you get a lot of them or just a few at a time? I don't get a lot because I read my comics, you know, single issues, so I don't really get a lot of trades. But when I do, it's usually to catch up with a series, or if a series I really, really like and I don't want to, you know, grab my back issues again. But yeah, I don't get them that often. Okay. DNGN, do team books help or hurt Marvel's less mainstream characters? I would say help because those characters, you know, may not be able to hold a solo series, but with a team book, it's easier for sales. Harley Quinn, what's your favorite show? Have you watched Luke Cage or Jessica Jones? What's my favorite show right now? Probably Supergirl. I like Arrow. I can't say it's the best show, but I still have enjoyment. I still feel very attached to those characters. I mean, you could go down like all the DC TV shows. iZombie is really good. Other show, I'm really enjoying Pitch right now. Some comedies I'm watching. Fresh Off the Boat. The Middle. Modern Family. I mean, the list. Veep. I watch a lot of TV. And then your other question, have I seen Luke Cage and Jessica Jones? Yes, I have. I have reviews for both of them on the channel if you want to check those out. DNGN says Manhattan, New York is not Staten Island, New York. Yes, it's not. It is not. But I was talking about Manhattan when I was talking about that, not Staten Island. Matt Tyler Jordan, do you think we will get another Justice Society of America comic for Rebirth? They promoted it. I would hope we would get something with Justice Society of America, especially with Legends of Tomorrow, having them on the show. Harley Quinn, what's your opinion on Gwenpool? I don't have a big one. I read I think 2 stories with her. I read the Christmas story, which I didn't really like. And then I read her first issue where, I mean, she's okay, but not enough for me to invest every month in her book. Oh, for some reason that question was retracted after. But I read it. True Jordan Cage, comic book TV show to get it after. Hold on. I trying to understand. comic book TV show to get it after one day, and I hope you remember me because my former name on YouTube was Firewolf Jordan Ramsey. I do remember your name. I don't understand your question. Try rewording that portion. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you read any Doom Patrol comics before Young Animals imprint? I read comics here and there from Doom Patrol, but nothing like too serious. And then I dropped it, Young Animals series, so I don't think Doom Patrol is really for me. The Omnitron. Thoughts on Deadpool the Duck? Why? Why do we have Deadpool the Duck? Did anyone ask for Deadpool the Duck? Because I sure didn't, and I sure won't pick it up. I don't like. I mean, with all these other comics people are asking for, and then you get Solo and I can't foot something. I don't get it. I don't really get what Marvel's thinking with those. DNGN, how many non-canon books should the big two publish? What do you think is the Goldilocks range in quantity? I don't mind out of canon books. I think if it's a good story, tell it. Like a Superman American Alien's a good example of that. Yeah, I'm okay with it, honestly. I mean, don't like make your whole entire line like non-canon books, but maybe like 3 would be the limit for me. I like them. Oh, and also non-canon books, alternate realities, you mean too, because they're canon in that universe. I love those too, so I'm game for those. I don't think everything has to be canon all the time if they're good stories. Kenneth Crowley, when Doctor Strange comes out, are you going to read some of the current comic runs on Doctor Strange or maybe some past runs? I mean, if I love Doctor Strange, I'll be like, yeah, let me pick these up. But honestly, I've read Doctor Strange and I know it's not really my thing. I'm obviously going to see the movie because I watch all the Marvel movies, but I'm not really like looking forward to it because I've never cared for the character too much. So, and that's why I don't really read the current book either. Even like I've seen guest appearances with him and I read stuff and I'm not into the magic stuff as much. We got Comic Book Fan 92 says hey to me. Mount Tyler Jordan, what comic would you like to see Mark Millar write for DC or Marvel? Something like really maybe Spider-Man. That'd be kind of cool because he's very good at like character-driven stories. But I always say like with his books, he starts out really good and then by the end, it like falls apart plot-wise. So that's something I think he needs to work on is just to figure out his ending a bit because his beginnings are always really good. Mount Tyler Jordan, who would you pick to play Green Lantern John Stewart? I don't even know. I would have to think a little bit more about that. True Jordan Cage, what's a future comic book you want to get out there in the TV show? For a TV show? My comic. Spider-Girl. You know, I always say that. That's the comic I want to be a TV show. DNGN, if you could pick any indie book to get its own expanded universe, which would you pick? That's a good question. Revival. I love that book. No, American Vampire. That is like a very worldly book where I feel a lot of different characters can spin off. I would say American Vampire. Kenneth, 6 months into DC Rebirth, where do you think it is at? For me, I enjoy Rebirth most of the titles, but right now some of the titles are stalling recently. Yeah, same opinion. There's some books I really enjoy, but a lot of them are stalling. A lot of them stall or they're losing their footing a bit. But this is the way to like kind of weave out which books you really like and which ones you don't. Then you have that stupid Batman crossover, which really got me out of the groove because I liked a lot of the Batman titles. It's weird not liking them right now. That's the hardship too, is like those crossovers. The Omnitron, with Punisher officially getting a Netflix show and not getting connected to the Defenders, who else do you think would be a good fit for the Marvel Netflix tone-wise? She-Hulk, definitely She-Hulk. I want to see a Hellcat spinoff TV show. That'd be nice. Mount Tyler Jordan, I would love to see Aaron Paul as Guy Gardner. I could totally see that. Comic Book Fan 92, what Spider-Man villains that should be in Spider-Gwen Volume 2 series? I don't think she needs Spider-Man villains. I know they kind of put their own twist to it. They've done a lot of the big ones already. They've done Craven. They've done a lot. Like they've done a lot of them. They've done Green Goblin. I don't know. I kind of want to see Gwen have her own villains too. I don't want them to all just spin off of Spider-Man villains. So yeah, keep coming with the questions, guys. I'm seeing those here. Mount Tyler Jordan, Mark Millar wrote Marvel Knights Spider-Man. He did. I remember that. I think he needs to write more Spider-Man. Comic Book Fan 92. I don't like any Batman books besides Batman Beyond. I like Batman. I like Detective Comics. I like Batgirl. I like Batgirl and the Birds of Prey. I don't like Nightwing. I don't read Batman Beyond because I don't like Batman Beyond. What else is even out there? Trying to think if there's any other Bat titles right now. I think that's it, which is weird. Yeah, I think that's all the Bat titles out. Omnitron, if they were to expand the Spider-Gwen Earth into a full online, what would you see as being their equivalent to the Avengers? I'm sure like the Captain America of that universe would create their own Avengers. Spider-Gwen would have to be on that team. I think the Power Pack exists in that universe. That'd be kind of cool to see. I think there's singers in that universe too, which is pretty interesting. I need to learn more about the Power Pack of Spider-Gwen's universe. Let's see that happen. Mount Tyler Jordan, do you think Miles Morales could have a cameo appearance in Spider-Man Homecoming? I would say wait until like the second or third movie for a Miles Morales cameo, because I don't want them to be the same age. I would like Miles to be a little younger than Peter. So make Peter age a bit and then bring in that Miles cameo that hopefully we will get. Comic Book Fan 92, you are hyped to Iron Man books. I'm guessing, are you hyped for the 2 Iron Man books? Not really. I mean, I'm gonna read them. I wouldn't call I'm hyped for them though. The only thing I'm hyped for is for Pepper Potts to be in the infamous Iron Man issue. It's the only thing I'm hyped for though. For it with those books. Oh yeah, so he fixed this question. Exile State Comics favorite indie title not from Image. I love American Vampire. From right now, like books I'm really enjoying. Joy Riders is good from Boom. I like that. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Boom. Power Rangers Pink from Boom. Like going through the companies. 451 Media Group. Sunflower is really good. Lady Killer from Dark Horse. The Zenescope books are good too, like the Grim Fairy Tale stuff. What else? Yeah, from the top of my head, that's what I'm thinking. We Can Never Go Home from Black Mask was really good. I'm excited for the sequel of that. Yeah, from the top of my head, that's what I can think of. DNGN, should Wonder Woman have an expansive family like Superman, Batman, or Green Arrow? Is not which DC characters could use the added dynamic best. I mean, Wonder Woman kind of has it, right? She has like 2 Wonder Girls. She has Cassie, and then she had Donna. And then she also has the Themyscira stuff going on. So she has a supporting cast. It's just not as much, like you said, like Green Arrow family and all that. I like the characters that have their family already. Maybe Aquaman can use that. Like, I mean, he kind of does already, though, too. It's just not as expansive as Batman and Superman and Green Arrow. Ooh. Kenneth Crowley, have you read the Smallville Season 11 comic series? What did you think of it as a series? Yes, I read all of it. I actually reviewed, like, every issue. I reviewed some of them of the digital copies, and then I moved to the printed copies. And I loved it. It was so good. I love what Brian Q. Miller did with the series. I enjoyed it so much. Hopefully one day they'll do a season 12. Timothy, how was Switchfoot concert? I'm going next month in Dallas. Well, I might go. Oh man, Switchfoot was so good. It was one of the best concerts I've seen in a very long time. It was a really good concert. I loved it. I love them. They're my favorite band. So I was just like, finally saw them live. So great. Even my brother, who never admits, like, he likes bands that I like. He really liked it too. So this is a good concert. The Omnitron, do you think Flashpoint has already pulled Supergirl into the CW universe and they're biding their time for their kind of reveal? I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool if they did do that. But we'll have to see. Mount Tyler Jordan, I think at times Miles was introduced, he was only 2 years younger than Peter. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think we need him in Homecoming. Maybe the next one. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you ever read Fables or played The Wolf Among Us? I have not played Wolf Among Us. I've read some of Fables, so I know like characters here and there, but I'm not like an expert on it. But I've read the stories here and there. I'm reading also the current. I'm also reading the current Fables book that's coming from Vertigo, which is not bad. It's a pretty good book. I usually review that for the Comic Uno episodes when the issue comes out. Yeah, so guys, keep coming with the questions, and we will continue our Q&A here. Yeah, keep coming with those questions as I take a sip of water. Ah, man. So yeah, let's see if we got any more questions. Nothing yet. Oh, we got one more. Timothy Joshua, who is your favorite Ranger? Pink Ranger, Kimberly, is my all-time favorite. But I have others too. I really like Kira, the Yellow Ranger from Dino Thunder. But yeah, I think Kimberly would always be my favorite. The Omnitron, if the CW were to fill out Friday for a superhero show, who do you think seems the most likely to get a show? I'd really like to see the Teen Titans. Like, I would love to see a Teen Titans show and Thea be the leader, which makes sense because she's like the young hero that has the most experience on any of these shows. So, like, bring in like Wally and then Thea. I would love to say Jesse, but you don't want characters with the same powers. But yeah, just that'd be fun. I want to see Teen Titans show. That'd do so well in the CW. Exile State, how long do you think DC will be able to keep up with their bi-monthly titles before they go back to monthly? I think once we get the second wave of comics, we'll see that kind of slow down with the bi-monthly. Kenneth Crelly says, have you considered getting some of the Hot Toys DC Comics or Marvel Comics 1/6 scale collectible figures? I have, but they are so expensive. I don't have any of them. But yeah, if they're expensive, probably not. Timothy Joshua, I've seen Facebook rumor that Bruce Wayne is to come the Batman. Is this true? I don't think that's true. Now, Tyler Jordan, there's this comic from 2000 called Marvel, and I think you should check it out. Insert evil laughter here. Is it a bad book? I don't know. I've never heard of it. Should I even look it up? Is it that bad? There's evil laughter after. I don't know. I've never heard of it, though. Marvel. Is it like a different version of Smallville? Before Smallville existed? Yeah, so keep coming with the questions, guys, and we'll continue this. Cracking my knuckles. All right. Now, Tyler Jordan, which Power Rangers show do you think has the best theme song? Oh, man, that's hard. They all have really good theme songs. Time Force has a really good theme. I like the original ones, right? Like, I like the ones that actually have nothing to do with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Because as much as I like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers one, I think that's so overused at this point. Especially with the new seasons, there are always, like, remixes of that. So, I like Jungle Fury's theme song. I wish they'd go back to, like, making original theme songs. Omnitron says, look up Linkara's review of Marvel. That will tell you all you need to know. I'll look it up then. Timothy, so how was your day? I need more time to come up with questions. I'll give you the time. How was my day? It was good. I got to watch The Good Place. Finally got to watch the pilot for that. I've been playing the NBA basketball game. That's been fun. 2K17, having a good time doing that. And then Supergirl was on tonight, so I had a good day. Tomorrow, Jesse Quick is on The Flash. Like, I literally can't wait for that. I'm so excited. So yeah, excited for that. Hoping there's some good scenes with Thea in this week's Arrow. Then Legends tomorrow, you got the JSA coming. That's gonna be fun. Tomorrow we also have Frontline Live, starting at like 9:45. We actually have Pat Shand on talking about his new Kickstarter book, so that's gonna be fun. And then the other half we're gonna be talking about top fives. Then I have a new Media Madness Wednesday, so we'll be talking about Our Girl, the BBC show, which if you guys could watch it before our Media Madness, that'd be awesome. Talk about it with us. I really enjoy it. It's a really cool show that I got Jeremy hooked on it, and we'll see if Jay likes it when we talk about our Media Madness. They actually got a couple of cool things coming up for Media Madness. Also have Class, Doctor Who, premiering this weekend, which I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but I'm a huge high school fan, as you guys know. So I'm really excited for this show. So I'll be watching that. Probably review the pilot, the premiere, and then we're gonna do like a in-depth review for that on Media Madness next week. So that's gonna be cool. We're still looking for guests for that. We're still looking for guests for Class. Yeah, so we got a lot of cool things coming up, and then you got Gilmore Girls almost premiering like next month. So that's coming up. Got Doctor Strange. Before you know it, you got Rogue One. Sorry, I got a tweet. All right, let's see if we got more questions here now after I babbled for a little while. The Omnitron. How excited are you for Power Rangers Justice League? I'm really excited. When this was announced, I'm like, yes, this is so awesome. This is a crossover I'm waiting for. Like the other crossovers I wasn't so invested in because there are properties I didn't really care about. But now, I'm so excited. Matt Tyler Jordan says my favorite Power Rangers theme was Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder has a really good theme too. Kenneth, why is there a Dr. Aphra a comic coming out for Marvel Star Wars? I might read it, I guess, but not looking forward to it. Really, Marvel? Just why? Yeah, I'm not picking it up. I'm not picking it up at all. I didn't even read Darth Vader. So the only Star Wars books I'm picking up right now is Han Solo, which I'm kind of picking up only because it's a miniseries. Like, it's already kind of lost my interest. But and the regular Star Wars book I'm picking up. Other than that, they need to come up with some more interesting stuff. It's hard because they're kind of limited with their things because of the movies. That's kind of hard. But yeah, Dr. Aphra, I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it. All right, moving on to Exile State. Has Civil War II caused you to experience event fatigue? Will the event ever end? I think it was before Civil War II that happened. Secret Wars was even worse than Civil War II in that regards. Because at least with Civil War II, it doesn't really affect the other titles as much, besides Marvel now probably spoiling the title or the Civil War II event. Other than that, yeah, I mean, Secret Wars was worse. I mean, you had every title tying into that, and by the end, it's like, what was the point of that book? So, yeah, I felt fatigued with. I think since Fear itself, I felt event fatigue from Marvel. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you ever played BioShock? I have not. Mount Tyler Jordan is Mr. Terrific in Legends Tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet. No, he's not. He's in Arrow right now. BNGN, is there any specific detail that you think of when creating a new character? Name, appearance, skills, history, reputation. It depends on the character. You know, it depends on the story, what type of supporting characters I want to see with them. I don't say I want this specific type of character in this book and like force it in. Yeah, it's an interesting process to figure out. It comes a little bit more organically for me as I figure out the main character and the story surrounding the main character. Because as you know, for me, I'm a very character-driven writer, very character-driven, you know, just in general. That's the type of stories I like. So I always focus on the character before the plot, and then kind of create the plot around it and figure out by then. So yeah, very interesting question though. Timothy, what are some other YouTubers you watch and enjoy? A lot of my friends. So, from the comic book community, obviously Comic Frontline, Mr. J's comic book reviews, we got Comic Storian, Comics Explained, Comic Pop. And then, we got other Robert, Real School, of course, Tony, Black Critic Guy. So, yeah, the list goes on. But those are, I like watching my friends on YouTube. Yeah, so those are some YouTubers that I watch. Mount Tyler Jordan, do you remember the Hex Girls? I feel like, yeah, I know the name, but I've never seen it. Hex Girls? Yeah, I do. I know the name. I've heard it before. Kenneth, there are a ton of Star Wars characters Marvel can do, but Dr. Aphra, really, Marvel? Try again, guys. The Omnitron, I wish you'd get the Knights of the Old Republic comics. Deadpool said LOL. DNGN, are you hyped for Star Trek Discovery, better known as STD? I think they need to change their abbreviation there. Don't think that's a good one. But yeah, Star Trek Discovery, I'm not very excited for it because I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I'm going to watch the pilot for Jay and we'll do a Media Madness on it. That's kind of it. I'm really not a Trekkie. I just don't really like that type of stories. But we'll see. I'll give it a try, and I'll probably do a review for it. Timothy Joshua, have you read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur? Thoughts? I have. I couldn't really connect with it. I know my good friends Brant and Jay. They really enjoy the series, especially Jay. Yeah, I couldn't connect to it though. I didn't really like the character that much. Kenneth, the Star Wars Ahsoka book from Disney Publishing just came out. Are you getting a copy? I've read the first 6 chapters and it's good so far. I didn't even hear about it until now, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up or not. I have to look into it. I don't know what it's about. Mount Tyler Jordan, do you think Power Girl will show up in Supergirl? I think anything's possible. I think she could show up. It'd be kind of cool to see that. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions from you guys. So how long has it been? Yeah, so keep coming with the questions, guys. DNGN, it's a shame Marvel can't do Knights of Ren comic filling the Kylo's history before episode 7. I know it'd be nice. I wish they could do more about Force Awakens, but they can't. Timothy Joshua, how do you feel about female characters in today's comics versus the past? They're a lot more developed today than they were in the past. So it's cool that female characters are being put more into the forefront. Even characters are just supporting characters. They don't always have to be main characters or superheroes. But yeah, it's just cool to see more development for these characters. All right. Yeah, so keep coming with the questions, guys. I guess we'll go for another 15 minutes, depending on how long you guys want to go for. Kenneth Crowley, Supergirl versus Dark Supergirl. Do you think it'll happen in season 2 of Supergirl? I love that story in 2005-2011 run of the pre-New 52 Supergirl. I feel like that's kind of similar to what they did with Bizarro, though. So I think they'll have to wait on that one. But whatever they do for season 2 Supergirl, I'm excited because I've been really enjoying what they've been doing with the show in general. So, all right. DNGN, does the Villain of the Week formula work long term? I don't think it does. I'm personally not interested in it. I'm so fatigued with Villain of the Week. We see it with Arrow. We see it with Flash a lot. And honestly, it becomes a negative for me when they just have these, what I always call them putties. They call them, because Power Rangers is just people to punch, not really having any story. So I get it. Honestly, I get a little annoyed with it unless they're developed. But a lot of times they're just there as punching bags. Mount Tyler Jordan, did you hear Alan Moore retired from comics? Hasn't he retired like 5 times? I'm sure he'll come back and do something. Shantae, Scooby-Doo and Witch's Ghost are where the Hex Girls are from the earlier comment. Yes, that is where I heard it from. There you go. Timothy Joshua, what movies are you looking forward to seeing? Star Wars Rogue One, of course. Doctor Strange. Trying to think of other movies. That Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt movie looked kind of interesting. Obviously Spider-Man Homecoming, things like that. Been kind of out of the loops with movies, sadly, lately. I don't even remember the last time I've seen one. What is the last movie I've seen? Probably Suicide Squad, maybe, like in theaters. I feel like that's the last movie I saw. Probably was. Michael Phillips, do you like that Superman has a family now? Yeah, it's cool. I've been enjoying it. Shantae, what are you doing for Halloween? I don't even know. I don't know what I'm doing for Halloween. Probably not dressing up, but hopefully watching some scary movies. So. All right. Any more questions? We get along. Get along through the Q&A. I just put my air conditioning on. Hopefully you don't hear it. I don't think you do. Through my earphones. But yeah, I'll definitely, before I end this, talk about, I guess I could talk about things coming up now. Things coming up. I talked to you about, what's coming up during the week. I got, in November, like November 18th and 19th, I'll be at the New Jersey Expo exhibiting like Father Like Daughter. That's going to be exciting. I'm actually working on a little preview story right now just to help promote issue 4. So if you're there, you could check that out. That would be fun. So if you live in the area, it's in Edison, New Jersey, and I'm really excited for that. And in December, I also have another con I'll be exhibiting at, and that is, it's not, I want to say it's WinterCon, it's called. I want to say that's it. Pretty sure that's the one. Yeah, WinterCon, it's in December. It's in Queens, in the Aqueducts. So that's going to be fun. I've never been there. So if you're looking for some con appearances, I'll be at those places. Again, just had New York Comic Con, so that was a lot of fun. It's cool. I've been able to do some more Comic Cons, which is cool. And then I'm planning some other stuff for the next couple of months. We'll see. We'll see where all those stuff goes. So, yeah, those are some updates from me as we wait for more questions here, and we got some. Kenneth, do you like it that Lois Lane has her own story arc now in the current run of Action Comics? Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite Action Comics issues. I really enjoyed Lois's story. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you ever seen Trick or Treat or Krampus? I haven't. But Krampus I know the story of because see my friend the Real Manos had like a story kind of based on that, a Kickstarter which I supported. So I know about Krampus because of that. DNGN, are there any gold Silver Age tropes that you would like to see repeated more often in today's comics? Not really, because a lot of those tropes are very silly. And never really like, oh yeah, that character would totally do that. It was very again, two-dimensional in some ways it did it, but yeah. Mount Tyler Jordan, would you read a Lois Lane and Vicky Vale graphic novel? Or Val, sorry. Yeah, I totally would. Lois Lane, I would totally pick it up for her. Vicky Vale, maybe for her. Michael Phillips said, OMG, New Jersey, too bad I'm in Texas. One day, hopefully I'll go to Texas. I've been to Texas once, not for a con, but I've been there once and it was cool. I love the food there. So maybe one day I'll go to a con in Texas. Mount Tyler Jordan, what do you think about the Indiana Jones films? I'm not a huge fan of them. I've seen, I think, 2 of them, but it's not my thing. Kenneth Crowley, I like 2 covers for Action Comics. Issue 965 with Lois Lane on them. Both the Gary Frank variant cover is my favorite. He draws Lois very well. Mount Tyler Jordan, Have you ever seen The Mist? I have not. I have not seen The Mist. So let's see what time it is. It's 49 minutes in. It seems like the questions are slowing down a bit. Let's go with the last minute questions. Let's see the last minute questions here. And I will answer those, and then I'll start wrapping up. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Again, I like doing these Q&As. I have a lot of fun doing them. Sorry, it was kind of a weird day. I usually do them on the weekend. It seems like more people are active during then too, because the weekdays are a bit hard. But for this month, it's been so crowded. So I was like, I want to do it obviously for October. And then again, the 9,000 subscriber thing happened. So I decided to do it on a Monday. Do it on a Monday after Supergirl. All right, let's see what questions we got here. Shante, who's your favorite comic artist, and what is your favorite comic art for a comic? Favorite comic artist, Francis Manapul. And I loved his work on the Superboy, Boy of Steel story arc. That was really good. Matt Keys, on the comic writing front, do you work with plots first or rush in on writing full scripts? I kind of do a little of both. Like I try plotting first, but then I like writing a little dialogue to kind of jumpstart to kind of figure out who the characters are. So I tend to do that a lot, and then I end up like scrapping up what that dialogue was. But it helps me just like figure out where I want to go with it, just because I love the dialogue between characters. But yeah, then you go back to like, all right, I want this to happen. So it's like a mix of both, figuring out the dialogue as you go along with the plotting. Then after you kind of figure out where you want to go with it, then I actually do script the book and do all that. So good question. Mount Tyler Jordan, favorite Stanley Kubrick film? I don't have one. Tyler Jordan, what do you think about David Lynch? He has very interesting movies. I kind of like that he puts his audience on their toes, and you have to really analyze everything he does, because it's never a straightforward answer with him. DNGN, do you think media dependence on nostalgia is unhealthy? Does it stifle our generation's millennials' creativity? I feel like it's a good and bad thing. Like I like the idea of reshaping reforming nostalgic properties and making them different, but also like allowing I guess the property to hopefully be similar to what it was, but again do something different, because if you're doing a reboot, shouldn't do the exact same thing you just did. At least that's how I feel about reboots, but still keep kind of loyal to the source material. But yeah, I would like to have more creativity and more creating franchises. I feel like hasn't happened in a while, where you get to actually see a movie do really well and then create a franchise. It happens less and less. It's always something that already existed and they created that franchise. Next question, Kenneth Crayley. My last question is, what is your thoughts on the DC Comics January 2017 solicits? Nothing really struck me that much there. There are a couple of new titles we'll talk about on Frontline Live, like the Captain Atom thing, and then the Amazon's book. So we'll talk about that. Not this week though, because we're going to be skipping the news for the Pat Chan interview. It'll be the week after. We'll talk about all those news pieces. Timothy, have you been working on any new characters? I've been focusing a lot on like Father Like Daughter recently. There's another mini-series I wrote that I'm trying to get off the ground. We actually are working on the first issue now. So that's a new character that I'm working on that I'm very excited about. Other than that, I have one other story I have in mind that I'm still trying to shape a bit. I know this actually is more, I wanted this plot, I love this idea of this plot. I'm trying to work the characters a bit more and understand the plot a little bit more too. So that's kind of like, in the works type thing. But right now, definitely focusing on like Father Like Daughter more than anything. And then that mini series that I'm really excited for you guys to read, which is really different from like Father Like Daughter. But I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys can read sooner than later. DNGN, are there any genres you like writing besides comics? So any mediums or Or do you mean like other than superheroes? I think you mean other than superheroes. If you mean other mediums, I like writing TV stuff. I like writing movies. Not very much a novel person. But genres besides the superhero genre, I love psychological stories. So thrillers, horror. I like writing, not westerns. Kind of stay away from sci-fi. But yeah, I like grounded stories. So that's why I think I tend to go. Even in my superhero stories, I kind of tend to go that route. So yeah, I would go with horror, comedy also. I do comedy, as you see with Motherverses. So that's what I kind of stick with. Now, Tyler Jordan, you have a choice to bring back Young Justice or retcon one more day. Which would you choose? Probably have to retcon one more day. That's something I'd probably have to do. That's a hard choice, though. Kenneth, great Q&A, Kat, as always, and thanks for answering all my questions. Well, thank you, Kenneth, for watching always and for asking your questions. Now, Tyler Jordan, have you read the Luke Cage comic that came out? I haven't. I read some of the Power Man and Luke Cage book. I didn't read Cage, though. It wasn't my thing, so I skipped it. Now, Tyler Jordan says it's by the guy who made Dexter's Laboratory. I heard, but also I heard from my friend Jay that he didn't really like it. But then I heard other people really enjoyed it. So it didn't seem like my thing, so I skipped it. But I do love Dexter's Laboratory, but I skipped that one. All right, it looks like that's all the questions, unless guys have more writing questions. Like maybe we'll do a little last minute like father like daughter questions. You guys have any like father like daughter writing questions before we wrap up? Let me know. We'll go through that. I can't wait until hopefully soon we do that Kickstarter, because that's something I missed, doing the like father like daughter Q&As weekly. That's a lot of fun. So I'm sure soon. Very soon, we'll be getting that. If you haven't already checked out issue 1 through 3, though, would love you guys to support the book. It's on our Facebook to buy it printed, and also we have all 3 issues available on Comixology. So worked really hard on that. Also, if you want to ask like Motherverses questions, that'd be awesome. I want to hear your feedback on that. You know, we worked really hard on Motherverses. Want to hear your thoughts on it. That'd be awesome. And once, yeah, I'll wrap up soon. I feel like it's a little early, so yeah, ask Motherverses, father like daughter type questions. Be cool. All right, there we go. DNGN. Oh wait, no, I skipped one. Yeah, no. I'd bring back Young Justice. One more day shows that writers that want Peter Single were wrong. DNGN, I'm about to head out. Congrats, Kat, and I hope to see you for 10K. Thank you very much for asking all those questions. Kenneth Crowley, when the series is done, will like Father Like Daughter come out as a trade paperback? It's an ongoing series, so for like Father Like Daughter, so there's a lot more stories to come. But me and Rashawn are planning a trade. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say anything else, but it's coming soon. It's coming very soon. We are planning one. Don't know if I could talk anything else about it, but we're planning it, and we're really excited about it. It will collect not just the issues, but also those mini comics that we had with the Kickstarter, so it'd be a really cool collection. Shante, I got to catch up on Like Father Like Daughter. Working part-time and doing Inktober is taking my life. Well, if you do, Ashante, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. The Sparrow 2 says 9,000. Yay. Timothy Joshua says, for Like Father Like Daughter, who's going to die next? I'm being silly. Gonna have to wait and see who's gonna die. Hopefully no one. You never know, though. We'll see. Matt Keys, on the same thing of writing, how many issues do you plot for the first arc? For Like Father Like Daughter, and again, it depends on the comic. Like the miniseries I wrote was 4 issues. I knew I wanted it to be 4 issues. And for Like Father Like Daughter, it's about 9 for the actual first arc. Like the movie I wrote is about 9 issues. But we're also I guess I could say this. We're having a trade, which is going to be the first 4 issues. So that's like kind of an arc in itself. So we're kind of putting it into 2 parts. So we have the first trade, and then I'm hoping a second trade. So the first trade will be issues 1 through 4, and then the extra little comics we had. Mount Tyler Jordan, I met Greg Pak in DC. Have you ever met any comic book writers? Yeah, I met a lot of comic book writers through the stuff I do, and it's awesome. It's cool when they've seen the channel too. That's pretty awesome. Mount Tyler Jordan, have you played the Batman Telltale games? I have not. Kenneth, are you picking up the Love is Love comic coming out in December for DC Comics and IDW? Yes, totally. I want to support that. All the proceeds are going to the Orlando shooting, and I think, you know, when comics can bring people together to support causes like this is important. And so yeah, I'll definitely be supporting that and buying that issue and probably reviewing that issue also. So Mount Tyler Jordan says Legend of Korra comic is coming out in 2017. You don't know how like crazy I went for that. I am so excited for Legend of Korra. I will 100% be reviewing the graphic novel. So excited. Sorry, my voice is starting to leave me. But Timothy, I enjoy the Q&A, and I will binge some Mother Verses. See you later. Well, thank you, Timothy. I would love to hear your thoughts when you do binge watch it. Matt Keys, Righteous, hope to place it on the shelf one day. I hope so too. Shante, have a good night, Kat, and all the people in the chat. Congrats on the subscribers, and looking forward to issue 4 of Like Father, Like Daughter. Well, thank you, Shante, for joining and always supporting. Kenneth, when comics bring people together, it's a beautiful thing. Can't wait for the Love is Love. I 100% agree. I think they did it also for Hurricane Sandy was one cause that I think Marvel did that for. Yeah, it's awesome to see that, and always would love to support comics like that because I think it's important. Other than that, I think that's all the comments. Oh, I see one more. Sparrow says you should read Berserk if you haven't. I have not. And then Tyler Jordan said good night. Good night, Tyler Jordan. So it looks like we're wrapping things up here. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you guys for helping celebrate 9,000 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. If you're watching this post live, definitely ask questions in the comments. I'll try to get to them. And thank you. And I will, of course, have another Q&A in November. That's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to check me out on other live shows, of course, we got Frontline Live on Tuesdays at 9:30 to 10. Media Madness, which is kind of scattered. Just check out my Twitter and Facebook. I think we're going back to Wednesdays, though, because of the Legends Tomorrow podcast, which I record on Thursday and is posted really late on Thursday night and shared on social media on Friday. I do a lot of podcasts, so check that out. My written work, go check out The Real Comic Pop. I do features over there, like a weekly feature, which has been a lot of fun. I edit for the Marvel Report, and I do written reviews there. It's cool because I don't get to do as many written reviews, so that's fun. I'll be doing the Astonishing Ant-Man issue 13 this week, which I know I'm going to have a lot of feelings about, so I'm excited to write that. I also write for Entertainment Fuse. If you want to check out like news stuff, I write for them. That's it I'm writing for right now. And again, focusing on Like Father, Like Daughter to get issue 4 out for you guys. Focusing on the convention circuit, I would say, to try to promote Like Father, Like Daughter. So if there's any conventions in the tri-state area you know about that you would like me to go to, let me know. Again, I'm trying to get some other events to go to. BoroCon being another one in May. Another event that I've been trying to get there, trying to go there. So looking forward to all that stuff, and I'll keep you updated once I do have the updates. And then someone said no right when I got on. Well, Siobhan, if you have any questions post live, put them there, and I'll try answering them. But again, thank you guys for joining me, and to another 9,000 subscribers. And like I said, next Q&A will be November. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic, you know. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later.